Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, including Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Rick and Morty, and Moonbeam City. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hello.
Today, Delaney and I will be discussing the third episode of Moonbeam City. The strike visualizer strikes again, which if I knew the name of the episode when I was watching, I would have figured it out a lot sooner.
Oh my god, did you seriously not figure it out?
I didn't.
It was so
why?
obvious.
Why does the title give it away? That's my question. Okay, and never mind. I guess that's not.
Because literally no one knows the title.
I didn't know the title. Okay, so we're discussing that. If you haven't checked out Moonbeam City before, I don't think you would have clicked on this, but it's good so far, and it's on Comedy Central, 10:30 on Wednesdays, and I think it's going to get a boost now by Daily Show being new again. Although it airs before the Daily Show. So that's less of a ratings boost than if it airs after something. Anyway.
Like South Park.
Yeah, but it's in between new South Park and the Daily Show. Like, it's going to have good ratings, right? Comedy Central is definitely all in on the show. Okay, so, we're going to talk about that. And you can check out everything about this podcast at overlyanimated.com. So let's get right into this. Delaney, what did you think of the strike visualizer strikes again?
I mean, I liked it. There was a lot of chrysalis, and my ship is alive.
Oh man, there was one line for that ship, but that's true. But that is not the highlight. Let's talk about the rest of the episode.
No, I mean, I just really liked it. It was weird. Like, I'm not surprised it was weird. It was like, I liked it better than last week's with, like, he got crushed by a wrecking ball, but like I say it's funny. It's not really supposed to be funny, but like. That's just one of the most shocking, like, absurd things. Not unlike things that happen in Rick and Morty. They're like, what? What just happened? And, like, you just got hit with a wrecking ball? Like, it's great.
Like, it's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, I just really enjoyed this episode. Even though it was just, Dazzle and his art.
Okay, yeah,
it's beyond me.
Let's talk about this. So, first of all, we've answered the big question we had last week, which is this cop show going to be about cop work at all?
That's why this is the best episode.
The answer is yes, because this was all about a crime and mass murder and stuff. The second thing, the main story, is why have all three first episodes of this show been about Dazzle and his appreciation of weird art forms? Like, actually every single episode so far.
Is Dazzle gonna become like an artist? What is he?
Like, I'm not sure if that's just like what the show is going for, or if it's just coincidence. Like,
I feel like it might be more coincidence because it's not like the art like really ties together. It's just Dazzle's an idiot and like likes weird stuff. Like, that's just who Dazzle is.
Yeah, I mean the first one is the least arty, but it's about him liking the weird singing stuff, and it counts. It fits in. But this episode definitely encroaches on last episode's territory of like Dazzle getting weirdly into art, and the episode kind of being a lot of jokes and humor about art as a medium, which I'm not super fond of, but I don't know. It's never commenting on anything too specifically,
Well, it was just so weird with the bowling, and like they weren't even making fun of bowling. It was just like
that's true. They kind of
it's just bowling.
Came off pretty well after this episode. Yeah, no, I liked this one though. I think I was worried what the show is going to be doing after last week, and I'm pretty optimistic after this one.
I'm very pleased with it.
This was like a cop show. Here's the thing. It featured actually an interesting plot that just happened to be in the context of a humor show, right? I actually found the bowling visualization guy doing the murders and stuff pretty interesting.
I liked it. It was
so that's. I mean, the thing is, the show's not going to be laugh out loud hilarious constantly. It's its first. We're in the first season, the first half of the first season. So in the absence of that, you can actually just have an interesting plot, and this worked. I think it was a good episode.
Well, it was just. I mean, it was very. I mean, it's very comparable, like, to any like. This is. I mean, how it was structured it was very much the formula for like an episode of Bones or CSI.
Yeah. That's like when satirizations are at their best, when they're actually doing a good entry of the work, like in and of itself, and then you're commenting on it on top of that.
It was great, and then it was also really funny because, like, I mean, I'm a forensic science major, so like, obviously I'm a fan of cop shows, and like, we haven't really touched on forensics, but it was really funny about like messing up the crime scene and like Like I thought, like I enjoyed like the humor like that, where they were like playing hockey in the blood, and
you enjoyed playing
just
hockey in the blood.
yes, that's yep favorite activity. Put
Okay.
Delaney down for playing hockey in blood, but no, it was just funny, and it was just because like it's just one of those kind of upending, the usual like you're watching a crime show and it's like, oh my god, don't mess up the crime scene. Like, yeah, I mean, actually don't mess up the crime scene. But it was really funny because then what is Rad? Like, what is he? What?
Well, whatever he is, I think he was used better this episode.
He was great this episode.
Kind of
like, I actually like him
as kind of as like an incompetent sidekick, which they lampshade at the end with.
He's the incompetent Canadian, like that's what he is.
Competent Canadian. That's kind of true.
I was crying when he was like prime minister, like hockey star. Everyone's jealous of him. Just like, what are you?
Yeah. So I mean, I think Rad was used well. I think Chrysalis was used pretty well.
Oh, Chrysalis was used great.
Pizzazz was more of a presence in this episode, and
Pizzazz is still my favorite. She is still the best.
But I think the big worry, after this episode is Dazzle. Yes. Because we kind of had the same shtick with Dazzle 3 episodes in a row. And I also think it's getting kind of weary how purposely incompetent he is. I'm kind of coming around to this. I'd prefer more competent Dazzle kind of argument that I've seen from some people. And it's just tiring, like watching him just be so ignorant of the guy committing the crime and stuff like that.
It's just
and if it's once, I think that can be funny, but I think every week it's just gonna get tiring.
Or like if he can have like very very brief moments of not being an idiot, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think generally with your incompetent characters, you want to give them flashes of like why are they in this high position, so at least it's somewhat believable.
Though it was really funny when Pizzazz was like, I needed my best man, but considering like all of them are incompetent and like unacceptable, I'm picking Chrysalis, which I loved that line. The line was, but considering
I don't have any best men or competent men, yeah,
it's so good.
It was very good, yeah. And that was definitely Pizzazz's best. And
that is the ship line. Well, no, I think the Jinx is the ship line.
No, the ship line was she said she called her good looking at some point, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean we'll have to go through the outline and then I'll find it. But yeah, so another thing is that I think this episode played back to its strengths from the first episode. I think the newscaster being back was a great idea.
The newscaster's great.
Yeah, I think we're back in the cops headquarters, which is the police headquarters, which is a good idea. We're bringing in more cop side characters, like we had Flash at the beginning, and he was great.
Flash Delaney.
Yeah, and wow, he was 0 days away from retirement, says Rob Lowe, which is great, yeah. Yes. Before he gets like brutally killed by the crane. It's interesting we have this episode after Rick and Morty's commentary on violence. Yeah. Again, we're just continuing with this. It's kind of an interesting academic outlook at the role of extreme violence in these adult animated shows.
It's also interesting given like we had like the serial killer, but like we didn't actually see that much like blood and gore except for like them skating the blood and like getting hit with the wrecking ball.
It was mostly just going to crime scenes afterward. Yeah. Once you get past Flash. Yeah. So let's go over specifics. Oh, so the other notable thing is like what a weird concept to have this strike visualization artist. How do these?
What does that even mean?
Well, we know what it means.
No, but I really like it though because like. Who even makes those? Does anyone know? No.
I guess I guess that's how it starts, right?
And it's also making fun of like they're absurd. Like I was on my high school's bowling team. Like, oh my god, like if you spend too much time in the bowling alley, like which one's coming up, and like they make no sense, and it's great.
Did I know you were on your high school's bowling team?
Yes, senior year, the inaugural bowling team, because Kentucky.
Inaugural bowling team.
Because Kentucky made it like a sport, like my junior year, and we finally had one my senior year. Because Kentucky was like, yeah, let's have bowling and fishing now, and I'm like, great.
That's interesting. Okay.
Podcast.
I guess that's how the joke starts. It's like they're bowling, and they're like, "What about those bowling animations? Like, who even makes those?" And then you have the guy who makes them, and you're like, "Oh, what if we turn that into like a guy who's taken seriously in terms of art?" And then of course Dazzle is this is a very Archer thing, by the way, which is pretty interesting. Like Archer's like randomly really into specific things. to an extent where it makes him seem kind of dumb. But with Archer, he's just generally smart, and you know that it's just like he has weird specific interests. This, it's like Dazzle's just into like some lower art form, which is what it seems like.
Just stupid.
Yeah, so I'm worried. My big worry with the show right now is the character Dazzle. I hope he's handled better in future episodes. I don't need him to be Archer, but I just need him to be.
I don't want him
not
to be
annoying.
I don't want him to be Peter Griffin.
Yeah, I agree. I don't need him to be Archer, but he just needs to not be completely.
Well, he could even be like the dad from American Dad, because the dad from American Dad does dumb stuff, but he's not actually an idiot.
The problem is, like, we've had moments of non-idiocy from Dazzle, but it's just it's hard to see them now, you know. And
it lasts like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
and he's always saying something like so sexist to Chrysalis.
Yeah, and Rad had one too, which I don't know.
I'm actually like 95% sure Rad's gay.
Is that where we're going with that? I don't know.
I decided that with this episode. He said something, and I was like, "You're gay."
Are we getting into Rad and Dazzle? You can just pronounce that? Is that how that works? Are we getting into Rad and Dazzle shipping territory?
Please. Here? No, I had at the end of the episode, I was like, "Wait a minute."
Wait a minute. Is that where we're going? Yes. I mean, I think that's a good idea if the show wants to subtly hint at Rad and Dazzle and then Pizzazz and Chrysalis.
Well, it's really funny how they go through lines, because some of it seems really like kind of like normal, you know, like romantic, whatever, like generally sexual lines, and then you'll have something like Rad was like, I do everything alone, no women, like whatever he said.
Oh, he said that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
And then, like, they'll have things like Chrysalis, when she, like, the bowling ball metaphor, which I was dying.
Chrysalis, she's like, I had to stick my fingers in me, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, wait, I forgot to say, this podcast may not be appropriate for...
No.
For,
17 minutes in. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, young audiences. 11 minutes, but that's okay. Yeah.
Where's
the Dazzle, or the Pizzazz line? I don't remember. We'll find out.
She was like, "Are you too good looking to be a cop?"
Let's go through the outline. Okay, so we talked about Flash in the beginning. We had the whole thing with the murders. I mean, it's like it's a joke in the beginning, and then it turns into a regular thing. The maniac murders. He uses people already pushing for wrecking ball reform, right?
What even is Moonbeam City? Like what?
I don't know. It's kind of an obvious like joke. Like use X instead of gun, and then I've seen that before. Pizzazz's rage index is severe.
That was really funny. I liked that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are getting good uses out of Pizzazz
Pizzazz is
frustrated frustrated cop boss character. We're getting back into parody territory for her, and it's good. What do you think of Trapezios?
I thought it was really funny. Like it's just like it was really, I don't know. Like I like things like that. Like going back to Rick and Morty and the like tiny bits, little bits. Like I just like dumb stuff like that.
You think this is in? Also, yeah, just fake little weird. Bits. It's just. I don't know if this relates to Little Bits, but.
Well, no, it's like silly restaurants. Like crack me up. Like I love it. It's so good.
I don't know if the restaurant in Little Bits was the silly part. I think it's the people that were.
Well, I just meant like.
Okay, I don't know. It's kind of an absurd concept. We meet Quasar Daniels, is that her name, who likes to have sex with cops, and then we meet...
That was really funny. I'm a Badge Bunny, and I was like, oh my god.
Badge Bunny, yeah. Then we meet Dr. Nocturne von Groff.
What even?
And above all, he is a dedicated holster sniffer.
I was like, whoa. That was funny too,
yeah. Though. And then we get... I didn't expect...
Also, it's really funny how just generally everyone is into Chrysalis, and she's like, can you not?
I mean, who wouldn't be in the Chrysalis, though? That's the thing, yeah.
True facts. Obviously, OTP, Pizzazz. Yeah.
We'll figure out what the line is. So then Dazzle starts fawning over him. The bowling alley cartoons strike visualizations.
I was actually hoping for a minute that we were gonna have like a gay sex scene. Like I was like hoping
between Dazzle and.
Yeah.
And
like that'd be
Groff.
Interesting. Yes.
I don't know.
I could see him being kind of like a Jack Harkness kind of character.
Who?
In the like omnisexual kind of way.
Who?
Dazzle.
Dazzle?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if we've.
I don't know if there's necessarily hints at that, but I can see it.
You've provided evidence for Rad so far. I don't know about Dazzle though. He is interested in guys, very interested in guys like artistically a lot. So that's no, he was interested. Yeah, this didn't go the same way him being into the singer went in the first episode though. So I don't know. She's disrespectful and stupid about
so what?
Ball to pin consanguinity.
I don't even.
And then he invites him to Spect Happening, which we go back to later.
I liked Spect. I enjoyed mashing words together in this episode.
In general, okay, yeah.
Spec Happening. I really did like that one.
In order, Dazzle trying to explain to Chrysalis how his love of Graf, it'd like you meeting the president of a glasses factory.
And then they came up
and then
later.
It comes back later, yeah. Then
so
he destroys the glasses factory, and then Chrysalis is upset.
No, not the glasses factory. Like, that was absurd.
Yeah, we have these weird CGI things with the Afro Dazzle from his past on a dragon, and there's like a pin in a coffin. I don't understand.
And then like young Dazzle, kind of having like a Batman moment in his suit.
Yeah.
But like with the bowling pin. It's so weird.
We have the newscaster. He gets in this whole thing.
Which I guess now that I think about it, that was foreshadowing for like the victims.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't make the connection. I didn't make the connection between the strike visualizations and the murders until they pointed it out on the show. So
I knew. When they went to the club and I saw him, like when he started talking, I was like, he's the murderer.
Okay, sure. I'm sure you had everything figured out right away, Chrysalis.
I knew it was yes.
Okay,
I figured it out.
Okay, Chrysalis. Okay,
I
Chrysalis.
figured it out before Chrysalis.
We the newscaster saying, I forget his name. It was good. We liked it the first episode, but he's like, at the risk of giving the maniac exactly what he wants, we're gonna give him like appropriate attention for whatever, you know.
Also, I would like to see from the next episodes if this continues, but like, this is a general thing with cop shows. Like, the one person who you've never seen before is probably the murderer.
Yeah, no, it's true. I try not to think like that, but yeah.
I mean, it's literally how it works, though. Like 98.
Just try to be in the episode.
9%. Okay.
Rad,
be in the episode.
Rad. I can't work at night. Dazzle. I can only work at night. Typical.
Yeah.
There's a 241 with the glitter dogs at the bowling alley.
Oh my god.
I saw that one coming. Okay.
I thought we could appreciate that. Like, the two vegetarians could appreciate the absurdity of glitter hot dogs.
I mean, how does that even work? But yeah.
I just thought it was funny because it was like the sparkly whatever meat. I'm just like, really?
Yeah, sparkly meat or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, or like rainbow meat. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what's wrong with it.
Yeah, and then Rad brings in a rocket launcher and then shoots down Tim.
That was really funny. It just comes in with an RPG.
Yeah. Rad's this. Yeah, true. Rad is like, oh, I love those, bowling cartoons, and then Rad's like, I thought art was for everyone, and Dad's like, everyone but you.
That was adorable. I thought art was for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so cute, Rad. Adorable. I just want to like pat his head.
Yeah, and then Dazzle and Chrysalis are going at it, and Chrysalis says something to Dazzle like, bowling analogy. No, I'm interested. And then Chrysalis tries to be like, I'm the one who solves crimes. You can stick your fingers in me. And she's like,
it's so funny. That was so good. That might be the line of the episode.
That might be, yeah.
So good.
Rad's like, I forgot my gun, and then it's later like cop's gun used to hijack a hot air balloon.
It's funny. He's like, I think I left. Actually, I know I left tonight. He's so dumb.
Hot air balloon factory into the glasses factory. This is Chrysalis. Okay, so here we are. Pizzazz says to Chrysalis, "What are you, a cop or just another pretty face?" So there you go. There's your line.
Yep, it's canon.
I mean, I don't think so.
Well, no, there was the Jinx part, and they both said Jinx. I was like, that is cute shit.
I think the pretty face was the big one, though.
I think the Jinx. You got to read more into it, Dylan.
I mean, this is a literal calling her pretty, so I mean, I'm gonna go with it. You can tell us what you think is the bigger line. Okay, let's name their ship. Fine, we're the only ones watching this show, so let's name their ship.
Their names so don't work. Was it
Chrysalis?
No, I just thought of a really terrible ship name. It's almost as bad as like Katniss and PETA. I'm not gonna say it. No, it's like
Pizzolus.
Pizzolus. Like, can that be their ship name? It's so bad. Like,
how about clever ship names for them? Because it's like,
there's not how.
I don't know, like Red plus.
No, this isn't Ruby.
Oh, the Ruby ship names are the best though. So I'm just
but it
trying
doesn't
to...
work here.
It might work here.
Yes.
Okay, they're at the spect happening, and then
guys.
there's the pin murder animation. Oh yeah, like the pins literally.
Yeah.
They're literally killing the pins and stuff. Van Graff is the Moonbeam City maniac, says Chrysalis. I didn't know before she knew, so props to you, Chrysalis. And then he for the first of 2 times gets swept away by a ball return.
What?
They're in his lair.
It's very like the Riddler or
Yeah.
like it just his shtick is great.
Yeah. They're in his lair, and then there's all the stuff there. And then they're like, we have to. This logic jump. Someone has to bowl a perfect game, and then we'll get his perfect animation for his.
I really liked it.
It's an interesting concept, but he was ready. The fact that, yes, he was ready on top of the place. How did he know?
Who knows? Maybe there's a mole.
Yeah.
It was Dazzle.
They get all the bowlers and they do all the stuff.
It was really funny. They threatened them, and he's like, "We need a giant asshole." And Rad's like, "Yes." I really enjoyed those scenes where they were just grabbing random people.
Yeah. Like
he knocked the groom and the bride out to grab the bride's dad. It was great.
Yeah. He falls. Dazzle has to shoot throw the ball at him. He misses, but it cracks and he falls, and then it lands on his face. Yeah. We did it at the end. Dazzle says we did it by working together. Chrysalis came into our own pizzazz, guided us from above, and Rad, the glacier of animosity. I forget. I don't know. Like faded away or something like that.
Melted away.
That makes more sense. And then they like him. And then he's like, "Psych, think fast, crab bag." So we thought we were getting our. We thought we were getting our ship. That was a long setup for that joke. I don't know why.
That was so good. Like, and then like Rad was actually gonna be like, I actually wanted to hear what Rad was going to say. He just tossed him over. So good.
It's good.
That's probably one of my favorite exchanges. Like that was so good.
So you're all aboard this Dazzle Rad interactions.
Yes.
I mean, Rad definitely used better here. He's good. He's better as kind of a better as an ally than a enemy, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so overall, what do you think? Better or worse than the first episode?
I think this is better. I think this is way better than the first episode.
I think this is more coherent, but maybe less funny than the first episode, if that makes sense.
Well, I think it's funny in like a different way.
In what different way is it funny?
Well, like it's not as like I don't want to say it's like more clever, but like it's definitely more like cop funny. Like it's much more funny as like it being a cop show.
You think it's better at satirizing the cop genre than the first one? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's less laugh out loud funny than the first episode, but it might be. But the first episode was also really stupid, so like I think this one could be clever. Yeah. Ultimately, I'm just happy it's on the right track. And probably the first episode better for me, but I'm now looking forward to the show again, so that's good. Okay.
I just love it. It's good.
Yeah. And last specific thoughts from this episode.
Pizzazz and Chrysalis forever.
That's I don't think that was a specific thought from this episode. I think you might have failed this basic task, but that's okay.
Wow! Oh my god! I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. Like, I don't know how we got through this far without you being atrocious to me, but
yeah, atrocious, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan's mean.
Yeah. Pass it on. Okay. We'll pass it on to our 50 listeners for our Moonbeam City podcast. There you go. I'm Dylan Hysen. That's Delaney Stovall. You can find everything about this podcast at overlyanimated.com. You can support us on patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patrons, Shayna, Mitch, Cordell, Beatriz, Nate, Andy, and Jamie, a.k.a. Hannah, Fever, Mitch, Cordell, University, Beach Exchange, Buzz Like Your Mailman. We'll be back covering Moonbeam City next week, probably. Tomorrow, because I think I'm putting this podcast up at midnight, is
sorry guys, I'm out of town.
Is Steven Universe. I mean, I don't know. We're doing it closer to when it came out, but Steven.
I don't know why we don't do it anyway, but whatever.
Because this is I'm probably not at my perkiest right now, so that's okay.
Perkiest.
Yeah. If that ever is true for me, it is not right now.
Hashtag Perky Dylan.
Okay.
Can you please? Okay, guys, if you got to the end of the podcast, you have to send me or Dylan. No, just send me. Just send me hashtag Perky Dylan, please.
Okay. You can. If anyone does that, I'll be surprised. But that's okay.
They love me. Now they're not going to do it.
No, please don't do it anyone. Just prove.
Oh my god, wow.
Just send a message by not doing it. Okay. Yeah, next week, Moonbeam City, tomorrow, Steven Universe.
Not the listeners, you, Dylan.
Oh, okay. I don't apologize. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.